Hello everybody, welcome to Planet Coaster 2 and welcome back to Silver Sands. Today, this park is going to be the testing ground, the workbench for checking out Update 9 and all the new things that brings to the park, obviously including arcade machines. This seemed like the most sensible place to do that since we've already built this non-functioning arcade and now we can turn it into a functioning arcade, as well as testing out how well these machines work as Midway games. So what better place to start than at the actual arcade here. Of course, previously we were using this fake shop counter here. We can now just get rid of this, and if we come into the entertainment tab here, we've now got this prize counter, which we can add into place here, and then we'll grab this, like so. And then for the actual machines themselves, what have we got? We've got the basketball hoops. Sorry, I'm going to be all over the place here, but we can just immediately... Actually, before we do that, let's just grab this orange colour, because I do like that, and we've used it in the surrounding structure. Presumably now... Oh yeah. But interestingly, they're actually like smaller than the old ones. Perhaps we can leave a little bit of a gap just so that if they needed to, they could theoretically sort of shimmy around the side. Then I do also want to see how close together can we put these. That's too close. That's too close. That's too close. That's not so bad, and it will let me go a little bit closer actually. Something like that. Man, this looks awesome. Move this around the corner here. I mean, that's looking awesome. Can't complain about that. I'm actually really surprised. Oh look, they're coming to play. Interesting, so these don't even need to be connected to the counters. People will just come up and play them. Oh buddy. Come on mate. It's pretty funny that the score's going up even though I don't think he's got a single ball in yet. There we go. I love that. Alright, then we've got these Atari machines. Oh, I love the look of these. And they've got the actual game like playing on the screen as well. That's so fun. I'm just such a big fan of this Pong machine with the wood paneling. That's so nice. Okay, these are definitely going in. So I guess what I'm probably going to want to do is get rid of some of these non-functional machines. I don't think I'm going to get rid of all of them because I think it's still good to have a little mix of sort of functioning and non-functioning things in here. Yeah, we can now... Crikey, that arrow is huge. We can now bring these in here like this. We probably only want to have two there, and then we'll put Pong somewhere else. So we'll get rid of Mortal Kombat. Pong here, and then we'll get rid of this Turtles machine. And here we will put the, where is it? The video game cabinet. Okay, so we can't edit what's on the screen or what's on the top there. And in fact, it looks as though we can't change this pattern either. But it looks like one of the patterns that we have on the right as well. Okay, this guy's playing Centipede. That's awesome. He's done it! What a mate. Level 2. This is so cool. Oh, these guys are playing these ones. Oh yeah, this is so cool. Alright, what else have we got? We've got this is the classic claw machine. So let's swap this out. Set this to be red, probably a bit more faded than that. And then we've got this other type of claw machine. So I think we've got more claw machines on the inside here, so maybe we'll get rid of these ones and we'll put some on the back side here. Again, it seems like you can't edit the patterns on these either, which is, you know, I guess this means that there's going to be a kind of a new... Obviously we had all these amazing machines from Josh, so what I'm kind of expecting to see now is an attempt to create kind of box skins like this to house these new arcade machines that we've got here, especially this one, which obviously we can't, we don't in the customizing menu have any way to edit how that looks. Let's do this one in pink, I think. Hell yeah. And then outside here, we've got the feat of strength, so I think let's swap the punch out machine for that. You guys alright? Have you considered maybe just, you know, walking around? You could just walk around it. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Okay, so we are learning that the hitboxes on these are a little bit wacky. Alright, I'm not gonna try moving that now because I can't click on it. and it will give me an aneurysm. Okay, what else have we got? We've got the fortune machine. This is quite cool. Obviously, I've got this Zoltan machine in here, which I actually really like. So what I might try and do here, add this in as a kind of a secondary machine here. This is so cool. Just seeing it all in motion. I wonder what they get out of here. It's giving nothing. It's literally giving nothing. And then we've got the hoop throw. Now this one I feel like, because of the depth of the machine, I think this one would work really well as a midway. We'll look into that in a minute, because I know that this is coming up. We've got the air hockey table. So let us bring this over like this, and then detach this top part, and get rid of these poles. We can do something like that. Can we join these together? We can. Nice, okay. And interestingly, these are actually quite a lot smaller than the ones from the workshop. Don't know if those workshop ones are built to like a real life scale or not. It looks like we can put those pretty close together. I believe there is not actually any path over here, so we are going to need to extend this slightly. And then we'll do the same thing here so that we can replace this one as well. Here we go. It seems like across the board the scores on these machines just kind of tick up randomly, which is, you know, it's fine. It doesn't need to make absolute sense. This works absolutely fine. One thing I will say is I'm just continually shocked at how well scaled all of these machines are, and the fact that they can just cleanly walk between them like that is really nice to see. Then I believe, okay, yeah, it's not next on the list, but since we're over by the penny pushers, I think we'll put some penny pushers in here. How close together can we put these? Because in real life these would be like pretty much all part of the same thing. So they do have to have a surprisingly big gap actually. That is slightly unfortunate. Okay. Fine. We could even build a little sign like this. They do usually seem to say coin pusher on them from a brief look at references. So we'll go with that. Look, I don't mind saying that this is not my finest work. And then we'll get rid of this, and we'll have two of each of the other ones here. And then we can simply extend this path so that these are accessible from here like this. These guys are coming in to use these. That's right. Put all your coins in the machine. Interestingly, I feel like this is literally the exact animation from when they're browsing in a shop. This little like thing he's doing with his finger here. Okay, nice. I think we're going to put a couple of pop-up panics back here. Let's do a green one. Yeah, I mean, this is so cool. Okay, so I think that basically now just leaves the hoop toss and the skee ball machine, which I've been saving till last because obviously we've got this big skee ball set up over here. And I think what we can do is kind of retrofit this existing setup to use these new machines. Once again, thank you and sorry to Josh who created all these. You truly paved the way, but it's time for a new era. God, it's actually like mad how many pieces these we're using. Yeah, my thinking is we just basically get rid of these. Let's detach this signage here actually. Oh, they've just started playing with it in the middle of the path. Let's take this and put it here somewhere. And then how close together can these go? Quite a bit closer actually. Oh. Okay. So you do have to have a slight gap between the machines there, but I mean, that's really cool. And I'm thinking here, kind of an alternating thing like this, where we maybe do one yellow and one orange, and then we'll have a kind of a stripy thing going on like this. And we can actually fit loads of these in here. So I built this whole building basically to fit with the scale of these blueprints, but these, we've got all this space behind now. I mean, it's not the end of the world. Perhaps we use a support piece or something just to make this look as though it's mounted. And then obviously we need to bring this flooring across here. That is so cool. It's interesting actually that they let us place them so close together that you end up with this sort of thing happening, which, to be honest, is a fine compromise with me. If there's going to be like some people clipping through each other, like, I'd rather have that and be able to put them close together like this. Yeah, this is starting to look a bit crazy. We've got too many people here. Okay, yeah, very happy with that. So then what I might do here, I'm just going to get rid of this completely, I think. I don't love the way that the colour of the pins is kind of like how that works, but it's fine. So how close together can we put these? Oh, nice. Okay. So it does feel a little bit arbitrary, like how close together each machine can be placed. Some of them can be placed much closer together than others. There are definitely worse problems to have. Okay, and what would this be called? Ring toss, I guess, is what they call it. Okay. I wonder if we could kind of make these look a little bit more like they're all part of the same machine. Could be nice. Also just kind of intrigued to see what it looks like if we cover up. And this one as well. Yeah, that looks way more like what I wanted. And also while I'm here, I think I want to cover up this frontage here. Yeah, something just like that. Just makes it look more like they're all kind of a piece together. Okay, so I think that's all the arcade machines, and I mean, initial impressions, I'm absolutely loving it. It's very cool to see people interacting with them. I think they sound and look really nice. The machines themselves are really nicely modelled. You know, this is Frontier's bread and butter, this kind of like just really nicely modelled kind of mechanical stuff. When they do it well, they do it well, I think. It's a little bit disappointing that this isn't more customizable, but I think with a bit of elbow grease you could definitely dress this up in a million different ways. And potentially, actually, you could... Oh, you can actually just hide the screen behind the glass even. So yeah, if you really wanted to put custom content on here, like, I think you could theoretically do that quite easily. So we've got the Chief Beef game now. Do we have like a small one of these? Not really, do we? They're all absolutely massive. And we do have this little mini Chief Beef, so then I'm guessing that this would be relatively easy to just cover this up as well. The safe, reliable art shape. You can't go wrong, right? And then we'll call it like Smash Burger Panic. That's what arcade machines are called, right? It's not my best work, but I think it kind of gets the vibe across. I think there's actually kind of a missed opportunity with these machines not to have like a gulpy arcade machine and a Max Stormcloud machine and all that stuff. That could have been really cool. Okay, anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, I think they're great. They seem like a great addition to the game. Not just because it's a new mechanic, which is obviously nice. Nice to have a new kind of offering that you can give your guests. I also just think they're really beautifully modelled and animated for the ones where we do have new custom animations. They're so well scaled, and the fact that you can place them really close together, a rare Frontier W on that front, considering we're so used to things just being completely overscaled and being quite limited in how close together we can place things. I feel like these are a huge step up on that front. That said, they're not completely perfect, especially like the lack of customization with this machine. But the fact that they all have a set pattern that they use and you can't change that. I think that's a little bit of a shame, but it's not, it's not the end of the world. The machines themselves are really good regardless. So yeah, that's arcades. What else was in the update? I was quite excited actually at the mention of the rough concrete wall now being recolorable. It looks like it is. Oh yeah, look at that. That's really nice. Obviously most of the time like you're going to want it to be concrete coloured, but now obviously the fact that we can make it like a lighter, just a flat grey, or you can warm it up slightly, or you can make it dark and give it a bit of a kind of grody green tinge. I guess you could do like a slightly even warmer orangey red colour. What else was there? Oh yeah, the shop counters are now. Let's have a look over here. See what does this now look like. Okay, I mean obviously we've got all these lights. Get rid of those. The interior is lit as well actually, isn't it? Let's just place down a shop counter maybe. Okay. Is that better? I can't tell. It definitely doesn't seem that bright. I can't really remember what it looked like before the update. What I'm going to do actually is I'll put up a before and after picture so you can see what that looks like. Okay, yeah, wow, actually, that does actually look... It's almost like they've changed the type of light that it's casting. It would be nice if you could just toggle this off completely. Obviously, I understand to an extent with the box shops why these have a light, because the interior is full of things that are lit up. With these little counters, to me it's kind of bizarre because there's not even a diegetic light source here to pretend that that's kind of casting light. So, I understand from a gameplay perspective, like for the average person who's just chucking this down in career mode or whatever, they don't want to need to place a light to light this up. So Yeah, I guess the most elegant solution really would be to just do what they've done with the coasters and rides now and let us just turn that light on and off as we please. But it's nice that they're at least looking at doing stuff like that. This is a rare kind of nighttime look at the park actually. I don't do this very often. I did have somebody who kept asking in the comments for me to do a nighttime tour of the park at some point, and I kept saying I would do it and then not doing it. Partly because I still need to actually go through and place like hidden lights everywhere to kind of ambiently light all these areas which wouldn't be quite as dark as they appear. But yeah, in terms of the update, I think Frontier have knocked it out of the park with the addition of the arcades. They look great. They fit really nicely into this park, but I can see myself bringing arcades now into more and more projects. The fact that these are kind of usable as Midway is obviously a really nice plus and makes me think there's room for more Midway to come later at a certain date. That would be really nice. I do think there's always a little bit of a risk with Frontier that it's like, well, we've given you the thing now, we don't need to give you all this extra all this extra Midway stuff as well. So that's obviously a wait and see at this point. But sorry, this was a bit of a random update today, but I will actually be back with this park again soon in the future. And of course, we'll be back with Jardin and Stevetown Northwest soon as well. So thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you've learned something here today, and I will catch you next time. Bye!